It's weak.
The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports.
And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25. So here are the new look Packers set to go to work. And at the helm here in 2023, a lot of eyes on this man in his 4th NFL season, Jordan Love.
It's a pretty bland game he had last time out. Ended up throwing 1 interception, didn't have a touchdown to offset it, but the team found a way to win. He found a way to lean on other parts of the offense that carried them through.
They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. The numbers for Jones last week: 21 carries, 91 yards, and a touchdown.
In a perfect world, they'd run the ball the same way they did last week, but against the #1 rush defense in the league, they're going to have to find a different way to move the ball. Maybe they start throwing it early and come back to the run.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Play action this time with Love. Now throw on the run, but that's going to be incomplete. 3rd play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
And Joseph Charlton on now to punt.
Back deep, Patrick Peterson. This is taken at the 18.
So a solid punt, but also a nice return there of 14 yards.
And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10.
The Steelers offense set for their first possession here, and it's Kenny Pickett who will lead the way, the 2nd-year man, Charles, from Pitt.
And he's certainly putting together an MVP-type season, leading the league in both passing yards and touchdown passes. There have not been too many defenses that have been able to stop him or even slow him down. So he's got a sight set on another big game right here.
A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Pickett, he'll look to throw it.
This is caught inside the 15. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 43 yards. Now, we know this offense has the potential to strike quickly, and they just bit off 2 huge plays on back-to-back snaps.
So on the other side of the ball, you've got to go Band of Brothers stop.
And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sacked back at the 9-yard line.
Lucas Van Ness getting free there to bring him down.
Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal.
And they'll run for the first time with Najee Harris.
And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. A nice run there as he picks up 6. It's going to be 3rd and goal now. This is kind of one of those in-between plays here, Charles, on 3rd and goal from the 2 or the 3 in that area. What do you dial up?
Something quick hitting. You don't have the time for something that develops slowly. It's got to be right at them if you're going to run the football. And if you're going to throw it, something quick, get it out of your hands in a hurry.
Again, it's Harris.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers.
Najee Harris with his 14th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Steelers are on the board first here this afternoon.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And it's now a 7-0 game. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
Nixon elects not to return it, and this comes out to the 25.
The Packers offense here coming back out for their 2nd drive.
4-4 their record through 8 games on the season. Would you say that this team has overperformed, underperformed, or are they kind of right where you thought that they would be?
Do you mind if I say yes, yes, and yes? Because ultimately to me, 4-4 is about where they should be, because we've seen weeks where they've been really, really good. They've looked terrific. other weeks where we wondered just how good is this team. They want to be consistent in their play, not consistently inconsistent, which is what they...
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Now a draw play. This is Jones. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31.
This defense for the Steelers, they were excellent a week ago in the win over Pittsburgh.
And one of the key numbers that I look at after every game, total yards allowed. They held them under 200 yards of total offense. Just couldn't sustain.
Taking it right down Broadway. Touchdown, Packers. Jayden Reed, his 2nd touchdown on the season.
And the Packers are within an extra point of tying up this ball game. Carlson's extra point up and good.
And we are tied at 7. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And the result, a Green Bay score. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away.
And it'll come out to the 25. Austin not going to try and return it.
So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their 2nd offensive possession. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
They run again with Harris. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves them with 3rd and about 6 yards to go.
So, CD, you look at this offense and what they've been able to do. 8-0, perfect through the first 2 months of the year. Second half of the season still to come. We get that. But what kind of a percentage chance do you think that they have of running the table?
Partner, I think it's hard to say because history would tell us that the chances aren't good at all. We've seen a lot of good teams get to this point, and then they have that one bad week and takes them out of the running. I'm going to say 25%, and I feel like I'm being generous with that number.
Going for it on 4th down. Here's Pickett. Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. A gain of 26 and a conversion there as well on 4th down.
Pickett to throw on 1st down.
This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown.
George Pickens.
45 yards. And the Steelers have taken the lead. Boswell good with the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. That time 75-yard drive, 5 plays.
And it was finished off by a George Pickens touchdown grab. Nixon elects not to return it, and this comes out to the 25. Green Bay's offense ready to go again. They are back to 500 on the year, got the win last weekend, and it's one that kept their playoff hopes alive.
And if you do have those hopes, 500 is not where you want to be at this point of the year. Now, we know they've battled through some rough patches this season, so it now comes down to how they're going to finish. Not out of it. Can't afford any more missteps, though.
Here's Jones again on second down.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Just a loss of a yard there, but it's not going to help. Now they face a 3rd and 14. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Reed. And he's finally taken down, and it's a big gain there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. The Packers with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Now Love. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Love going to give this one to Jones.
And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
That is caught. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 42. That'll put him over 100 yards receiving now here in this first half of action. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line.
Withstanding that time from Keanu Benton. Got in there and hit him for a loss.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. Throwing. Love. And a little floater there, but it'll wind up incomplete, falling to the ground.
Well, he left no doubt about that one because even though he hasn't left the pocket, he's got a receiver in the area, so it's not grounding, even though there's no way that ball was going to be caught.
Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick.
Down to the 10.
And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown.
And no surprise to see that one, partner. The league's #1 defense coming through with a huge pick 6.
And it's plays like that one that have made them the most feared group to face this year. Offenses, they're trying to figure out how to work around them rather than work through them. Big-time impact playmakers scattered throughout the unit on every level, and they can change a game at a moment's notice.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
Nixon elects not to return it, and this comes out to the 25.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field.
And remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
And sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. To throw now. Here's Love. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And he takes it back to the house. A fumble recovery for a Steelers score.
Well, Charles, not only did they fumble the football, but they're starting to fumble away their chances here a little bit. We've got a 3-score ball game now here in the first half.
And the last thing you want to do, partner, is help the other team with what are avoidable turnovers. You want to hang on to the football because you're already playing against a good team. You're just making it easier for them by giving them extra opportunities.
And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return.
Nixon elects not to return it, and this comes out to the 25.
The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you've got to do something
Heads up.
to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now, that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
40 yards on the punt, 2 on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
So here are the Steelers to take over on offense. They've gone 2 months without a loss, 8 straight wins for them. And they've got the lead here in this one as well, trying to make it 9 in a row. Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
We're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
Staying on his feet. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
That one covers 29 yards, 1st down.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches...
Oh, now Harris lost it. It's a fumble.
But it looks like one of the DBs has it.
And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
Do you remember in preseason we were going to the different training camps and visiting teams, and we always would see the running backs working out and going through those gauntlet drills,
Yep.
and, guys either slapping at the ball or the machines. You got to learn to take care of it.
Yeah, they lost it there. Big fumble. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Love.
Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted. Picked off by Cole Holcomb.
And this one will be brought back to the 22.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
1st and 10, here's Pickett.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think we can all understand what they're thinking right now. They take over the ball in field goal range after the turnover, so they've got that in their hip pocket. But they've got to go for the end zone and turn this into a bigger points. Their thinking is a touchdown is really what they should get from starting here. Getting 3 points at the end of this drive, that would feel disappointing.
No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
Back to throw, Pickett. He's got his target. That's complete.
And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends.
Now Pickett. Open man is Johnson. Touchdown Steelers. 2 yards on the touchdown there. And the Steelers are able to widen their lead here in this first half.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And the route is on here in this first half. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
Nixon elects not to return it, and this comes out to the 25. Another drive coming up for this Packers offense. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least 1 practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Love looking to throw it. His throw incomplete.
A couple of quick incompletions, and now they're just 1 more away from getting off the field. They've got options now. Could they dial up a blitz here or just drop everyone into coverage to crowd the throwing lanes?
On third down, here's Jones. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
On 4th down, Joseph Charlton on to punt.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Now it's Peterson.
Well, following the punt return here, there is someone shaken up. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game planned for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
Pickett.
And incomplete on the deep ball.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
Here we go. It's Pickett on 4th down. Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And he is out of bounds inside the 35. They go for it on 4th down, and it pays off big time as they pick up 29.
On 1st and 10, it's Pickett.
Man open is Robinson. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. That one goes for 30 yards.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
They get this out left. And in for the Steelers touchdown.
Pat Freiermuth from 4 yards out. And the Steelers will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
Boswell good with the extra point, and the rout is on here in this first half. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
Nixon elects not to return it, and this comes out to the 25. The Packers with the football here late in this first half. And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive.
Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10.
Off the play fake, Love. He's going to launch this deep for Watson.
And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Trying to get something positive to happen here before the break, and they sure need it. They went for the big one, but it winds up incomplete.
They'll throw again. Here's Love on 2nd and 10.
And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
This time they stay on the ground. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. He did well to get him 8 yards, but it's still going to mean a call to the punt team on 4th down.
And here's Joseph Charlton now,
as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. On the return is Peterson.
Holding, receiving team.
Wait a second, that's got to be a mistake. They declined it.
That doesn't make any sense, right? I mean, it doesn't at all, because
past the halfway point of the season and now past the halfway point of this game. We skip halftime and get right back to the action. Set to begin the 3rd quarter.
So time for the 2nd half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the 3rd quarter.
Taken at the goal line. And he returns this to the 22. The Steeler offense ready to get going to begin this 3rd quarter. Pickett leads the Steelers up here with a fresh set of downs.
At their own 22.
Looking to throw, Pickett.
He sets to fire deep. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
they decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender, couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
2nd and 10. It's Pickett again.
It's complete to Robinson. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one good for 26 and a first down.
Working out of the gun, it's Pickett.
Gonna let one fly for Robinson.
And that's going to be incomplete.
That's some good closing speed there defensively, because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
A short one there to Freiermuth.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first.
Here's Pickett.
And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first.
Brandon, I think you and I were both raised the same way in the game of football. You run to set up the pass, but I think we've discovered in this NFL, a lot of teams pass to set up the run. And that's what they've done throughout this game. They've aired it out, thrown it around the yard. Now they've come back to the running game and they find a way to be successful with it.
It's Lucas Van Ness there to drop him behind the line.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I played with that have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. One of the guys on the team was saying, hey, yeah, we called him the disruptor, and that's carrying forward again.
Makes sense, doesn't it? Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal.
Pickett will look to throw it here.
Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield, but when push came to shove, they stood their ground, and now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
On 3rd down, here's Harris. And he is going to lose yardage here. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now.
There have not been a lot of great moments for this defense throughout this game. Finally, they have one they can hang their hat on. A nice stop there.
The offense stays out there. A big challenge here from this far back, but they're going for it on 4th and goal.
Going for it on 4th down. Here's Pickett. That throw finds Pickens in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers.
A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year.
And the Steelers take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
And now a whistle and a timeout called by the kicking team. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
Nixon elects not to return it, and this comes out to the 25.
So here are the Packers now. They get set for their first possession of half number 2.
Love going to break the huddle, lead the Packers up here 1st and 10
at their 25-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down.
Cameron Hayward able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. From the shotgun, a give to Jones. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. 3rd and long coming up. Love now. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line.
T.J. Watt picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
On now is the Packers punter. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he'll just punch it out of there, and it's not a great kick. Taken on the midfield logo. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field.
Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they've pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game where you and I have to be prepared, right? Isn't this kind of like that empty the bucket time where you have to go into your blowout material and make sure we have some different things? That's what we're staring at right now, the way this one is going.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now with the play clock down to 2, we're going to get a timeout here. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter.
Pickett, he'll look to throw it. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
A 2nd and 10 forthcoming here. Third quarter action in the Steel City of Pittsburgh, PA. Now this throw caught left side. Touchdown! George Pickens, 38 yards. And the Steelers will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the third. Extra point put through by Boswell. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Nixon elects not to return it, and this comes out to the 25. The Packers offense set to go. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've played 3 quarters. Back now in Pittsburgh. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Love with it here, 3rd and short yardage. He has it complete to Christian Watson. And he is going to have a Packers first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert here on 3rd and 3. Jordan Love ready on first down here. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. T.J. Watt getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This will be 3rd and a mile. Setting up the screen here, Aaron Jones. And down he'll go at the 25. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
On is the punter Charlton now as he's able to get this one away.
And it's fielded at the 34.
A good kick that time, but also a pretty good 15-yard return. And they will take over 1st and 10. You don't see that too often, Charles. He punted that away and then hustled up to make the stop as well.
Yeah, because oftentimes they serve as their own safety after punting it. You want to be the last guy, but he decided to get involved in the action, didn't he? And what a spark that's got to provide for the rest of his team when they see their punter out there making a nice hit.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, I think it's pretty evident that any blowout isn't going to be big enough for them. They're already up 7 full touchdowns, and it's still not stopping them from throwing it deep downfield, taking their shots, trying to add more points.
Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Partner, you and I have struggled with this for years. You've got the lead. Just take care of the football and burn some of that clock. But there's something to be said for not taking your foot off the gas as well, because you can never have too big of a cushion. That one, though, falls incomplete.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Pickett back to throw.
And that is incomplete.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy, because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out, because this one, it was over a long time.
Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Eric Stokes, and the Packers will take over possession here up at the 44.
CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Following the play now, they're going to stop the clock here as a man is shaken up. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside.
First down, going to the air with Love. Thomas brings it in. Touchdown, Packers.
Logan Thomas, 31 yards. And the Packers get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth quarter deficit. Carlson's extra point up and good
as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play.
So after the made field goal, here's Carlson to send it away. And it'll come out to the 25. Austin not going to try and return it.
The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field.
And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4. Here's one deep for Pickens.
And that's caught inside the 35. And in for the Steelers touchdown.
George Pickens, 75 yards. And the Steelers add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week.
A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Nixon elects not to return it, and this comes out to the 25.
The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
On 1st and 10, Love. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
I think this one offensively, this is one where you just say, let's move on. Let's not even watch the game tapes from this one.
Yeah, you might just want to throw it in the trash, act like it was never there in the first place.
Yeah, just say we're good.
Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway.
Down to the 10.
And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
Well, CD, they just haven't had a whole lot to cheer about or really grasp onto in this game. They've been dominated, but at least they get a late touchdown here, something positive to put on film for tomorrow's session.
Yeah, they're still trying to execute, trying to get some positives on their board and ledger sheet and keep this from being a total loss. Give them credit. They're going down fighting.
And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field.
I'm just wondering, do they want to add on to this gigantic lead? My guess, given how they like to play and how explosive this offense is, Charles, that they're not content being up by this margin. They probably want more.
And if they do,
and he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
Keyshawn Nixon now from his end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Green Bay offense ready to take over. But we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Just 2 minutes.